The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hi, I'd like to spend a few minutes going over the new Xmarrow Pro software. One of the things that I thought might be interesting is just to highlight some of the changes in our new software for our dealers and channel partners. This is not meant to be a replacement to a full applications training class, but like many of us, we don't like to sit and read through operators' manuals. So rather than have you spend an hour or two reading through the whole manual, I thought it might be interesting just to spend some time doing a quick overview of the changes, since most of us know already the software. The new Xmarrow Pro software is different for a number of reasons. First of all, it's a 64-bit platform compared to our 32-bit. That is certainly an improvement in terms of being able to offer quicker review of images, quicker processing. It expands our ability to add new features and functions into the system. It also is a better compatibility with the Windows 10 platform. One of the first things you'll notice is in the software, you don't need to click on the icon. If you set it up in the system, you can set the system so that um, as soon as you boot up Windows 10, it'll automatically load the Xmarrow Pro software, which it's done now. So you don't have to even do this step. That's how quick it can be. The home page looks basically the same. The entry page is not dramatically different. It's still the standard administrator user application. You still have the same passwords, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. You come to the primary acquisition page, which is our home page. Still have the same basic icons that you've had in the past. You have the work list, your study list, your new patient entry, and your emergency. As before, you want to start and add images to a study list patient. You can go in and enter it and edit procedure and add to it. If you want to access patients from a work list, you simply double click on it, move to the next step, or you can go to the new patient entry. Little change here in registration. Now the only field you have to complete is the patient ID number. All right. Before you had to enter patient name, date of birth, all the other ones that had little asterisks next to it. You still have to complete that. But if you're basically just registering the ID number, this is a quick way to get it loaded into the work list. And if you don't have the information at the moment, you can always edit it at some point after. You can modify and add those in. When you click on capture, it goes now to the new procedure page. You'll notice it looks very similar with some changes. Right? The body parts are still here, but the multiple views are along the top. The general body area is highlighted, and the individual views are now simpler and quicker to locate. This reduces a lot of the common scrolling that was found before and wasted a lot of unnecessary time. You'll also notice that when you're doing exams that have stitching involved, there's a little icon next to it to show you this is a stitching exam. So it just makes it simpler and quicker to get things loaded in. When you go to capture, again, it will move to a new display. There's a couple changes here also. First of all, it's laid out right now with thumbnails on the left, processing features, and generated techniques along the right. You can reverse this order, but these to the left and these to the right. So you have the ability to customize it. I happen to like it this way. I like my thumbnails on the left. On the left, and the processing features on the right. If you want to edit the procedure as you had in the past, you can click here and add the individual body parts If you want to change the order of these, you do all the APs together or all the PAs together. Before you would simply drag and drop. There'd be a little arrow along the bottom, I believe, that lets you change the order of them. Now you highlight the one you want to move. You left click on these little dots along the side and just drag it down to where you want it located. So it's quick, everything is right there. You'll also notice we've cleaned up this area. There's suspend and accept. Retake and reject are steps that will be followed up after this one, so there's no point in having them here. All right. When you acquire an image, as before, you'll notice here now there's a box that says ready. When you click on it, it'll say acquiring. So now you know what the system is doing at the time of exposure, showing you it's ready. You'll also notice along the bottom, it will show you the battery strength, temperature, and signal strength are right there. So even before you start an exam, you can decide if you need to change your battery because of, it's time to change it. Right? The other features that you'll notice here is that if you want to retake an image, all right, it's something that you can do relatively quickly and easily. All you have to do is go to that particular image that you want to retake, right? Go to the little check box that is as part of the thumbnail, click on it. It'll ask you a reason. Give it the reason, and now you'll notice it's been reloaded here down below, but the old image, original image, is still here, but it's been grayed out basically. It will not appear as part of your study list, but it's available in your history folder if you need to access it. You'll also notice now that you have a viewer. This is the viewer that you will have on your workstation, but also the viewer that people will have on their remote viewing computers. Right? So it's a common view for both of them. Basically, it's a server within our system that allows access to the images from other locations. And it's a quick way to be able to, if you want to actually from the viewing screen, you can make changes right here. If you want to do any kind of adjustments, you have the tool settings here. They're available, as well as the chiropractic tools. Right. But for the most part, in the acquisition screen, you're not going to be doing much in the way of making these changes. But you have that option. You have the 10 most common ones along the top. If you want to get to the rest of them, they're available under the individual tabs along the side. You also have the chiropractic tools, and you have the processing features for gamma curves and other corrections you want to make on the images. Right? When you've completed acquisition of images, you can go to accept. We'll close the exam. Now you're back in the study list. You want to bring up any patients within the study list, again, you just double click. You'll also notice that if you decided to clone an image, it will appear here with a little C next to it, showing that you had cloned an image. I think you folks know how to do that, but if you are uncertain, we can go back to an exam here and take an image, right click on it, and you can clone the image. Okay. Also on the top toolbar, you'll notice that there are the most common file parameters are available here. Moving the images, deleting studies, save as, all of them along the top here, but they can be adjusted as you need. The settings bar is up here, replacing the little circle that was in the earlier version. This particular icon enter any changes you want to make in the general settings, the account settings, your users, system settings, how you start the system up, how you format the information, the ICOM settings, crop and mask settings are here. Under options, you will see you want the on-screen keyboard, full screen launch is where you launch on startup. So when you open up Windows 10, it automatically loads right into the Xmaru Pro software. Functions that are available in the software, that's part of our improvement here to this new platform, will be available on our system. Either standard or options will be the Bone Age, CRX, Grid On, HDR, auto stitching, Cairo tools. These are all basically, additional functions that we have in our system. Institution information with the physician's names, the header columns can be adjustable. Toolbars, that was along the top here. Preset annotations, size of those annotations, thickness of them. Network settings involving the work list, storage class, how you send images over to a PAC system. You want to review them or not before you do. The MPPS, components, the detector settings, selecting the detector. These are all common things you've seen. Generator interface, DAP settings. So basically, we have created many of those same functions in this particular part of the settings component. And that is basically the major changes that you'll find within our system. If you have further questions, go right ahead and refer to your your operator's manual, user's manual. Contact your local regional sales manager or your service department at Rayence for further information. And I thank you for the opportunity to go over this with you. Thank you.